Today we're going to draw Genos from One Punch Man, and this is the premium drawing paper that I'll be using for this drawing, and we will be inking it with a dip pen. So let's get started. Starting off with drawing the outlines of his face, of course, which is always the easiest place to start off with. And notice how I am using sort of line variation which you naturally get with the dip pen to add thicker lines in places where the shadow needs to be, because you might as well use the biggest advantage of the dip pen, which is insane line variation. Drawing the lips here, you need to be careful when you draw the lips in manga style characters, because they often have broken lines, not continuous lines, and they do this to emphasize light and shadow, which gives sort of a three-dimensional look to your drawings. Genos' hair are interesting to draw as well. They can be drawn in 2 steps and should be drawn in 2 steps. That is because they're wavy hair, not smooth straight lines. Here I just drew the eyebrow, which is white, so you need to be careful while drawing the outlines of white hair and white eyebrows. You don't want to make it too thick. Now I'm doing the hardest task of all, which is drawing the other eye, and I did manage to pull it off quite well here. You need to sort of imagine 2 horizontal lines in your head if you are attempting to draw eyes without any guidelines, but if you've not practiced enough that way, then it still might be a bit difficult for you. Drawing the ear here, making the upper part a bit thicker again, drawing his hairline and clothes, and adding details to clothes or just any other mechanical parts is always very satisfying to do with the dip pen, because the ink flows out really well. Here's his hand over here, which is all black, so I will just be drawing the outer outlines for now, and we can shade it in or fill it in with a brush pen later on. And here I'm drawing his hair, and you can notice how I am sort of using or bending the lines, you can say, in order to draw wavy hair. If you just draw smooth hair on Genos' face, then he looks like another character. So you have to be careful when you're drawing his hair. Adding more detail to the hair. And now we are going to do the my very favorite thing to do with the dip pen, which is hatching. And hatching with the dip pen is really one of the best things or the best experiences you can have in drawing. But when you're hatching over surfaces which have like very light shading, such as the face, you need to be very careful not to apply too much pressure, otherwise it can just ruin the look of the drawing. You can see that I did get some thick lines when I was hatching the nose, which is probably because the G-pen nib is just not made for hatching. I should have used the mapping nib instead, but I just decided to use this anyway, so there you have it. Now I switched over to a finer nib to add sort of finer lines and add in a bit more detail to the illustration. It just gives it a more polished look. And there you have it. I'm already done with the line art. Let me know in the comments if you want to see the full body completely inked version of this drawing. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Do give it a like and subscribe for more content. And thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.